but I'm wondering, like, the premise behind it. And I mean, obviously,
it was to protect women.
To protect women. You know, and sometimes I feel like men need to be protected from women too.
Right.
You know, honestly.
Right.
Especially with the line of work we do.
And you've seen both sides.
Both sides.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. We're following the lawsuit of Dr. Lucas Murray, who's suing multiple women for defamation due to negative comments made in a Facebook dating group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? This video is from the King Law channel and highlights an interview with a private investigator, Jen Morales, who provides insight into the legal aspect and credibility of the group.
Officer.
I started with the City of Rochester Police Department in 1993. Worked on the streets for a little less than a year before I went to the city's tactical unit, which is a proactive unit, and then transferred into narcotics, where I was an undercover police investigator for almost 19 years before I retired.
The original video is 25 minutes long. You can find the link to the original video in the description. We would like to highlight some key points made in this interview. Let's talk about it. We men ain't we? Yeah. We men ain't we? Yeah.
My question is, if there's an allegation that is made by someone that is not true, or let's say it is true, and then a criminal investigation gets opened up, what are some of these charges that might come into play if you're the man being posted or the woman being or commenting?
So I guess, you know, the woman commenting, making an allegation, depending on what the allegation is, I don't really see any law enforcement running with an allegation from social media without it actually being self-reported directly to law enforcement, unless it's something so egregious that they have to, like, maybe some, you know, children are involved, or, you know, trafficking's involved, human trafficking. But I don't see just like a basic allegation being investigated by police.
Okay.
But if they make a false allegation or start bashing some guy that they dated without any verifiable facts, and they're just assassinating their character, I think that the male part of that has really good ground to stand on for some sort of defamation, you know, or let's say the girl posts every single day about him. Probably harassment charges, you know, especially if somehow, you know, he were able to get word to her, I saw what you posted, please don't post anything again. If the male was able to tell the, you know, whoever's posting about him, like, knock it off, those are her aggravated harassment charges.
Right.
You see, when it comes to defamation, men do have a case, regardless of the concept of free speech. It is crucial to understand the seriousness of this issue. Let me share with you a quote from Robert Greene, and I quote, "Do not leave your reputation to chance or gossip. It is your life's artwork, and you must craft it, hone it, and display it with the care of an artist." End quote. Guys, your reputation is of extreme importance because it can determine the course of your life. False accusations can completely destroy the lives of innocent men. That's reason enough to sue these women. This lawsuit is essential study material for men, and I hope it gets international attention, just like the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case. Let's continue.
We've talked about that before. You know, at this stage of the game in my life, I've learned to just be so aware of being so judgmental, because you're right, 30 people could get on there and start bashing somebody, but all 30 people might not know the guy.
Right.
But then if you're the girl that's about to go on a date with him, you're going to probably think twice
Right.
Because there's all these horrible things being said about the guy, but I know better now at my age and everything I've experienced in the police department as a private investigator in life itself. I better judge someone for myself.
This is one of the biggest disappointments of women's portrayal and ideology in modern society. They are supposed to be more mature than us, smarter than us, and more competent than us. But when it comes to decision making and taking responsibility for their actions, they are a complete joke. And it's not even funny. It's all over the internet. And you would think that women would hold each other accountable, but they just make things worse.
But I don't have any rational way of explaining why. And if I were to get rational about it, I would talk myself out of it.
Yes.
This is a result of ignoring female nature. Women need to talk about their problems to feel better. It's therapy. That's why they can't shut the F up and keep telling on themselves. And in this digital world, they turn to social media to run their mouths, drawn by the abundance of attention these platforms offer. Female nature is not equipped to deal with this level of emotional stimulus. Don't shoot the messenger. 1 in 4 women are on antidepressants. Modern women are stressed the F out, and this Facebook page and social media in general are not helping them.
How would you approach an investigation if someone were to come hire you and say, hey, I have a defamation, I want to, like a male comes forward, I want to hire you because I want to sue someone for defamation. What does that look like to you?
So if somebody calls into the office and says that they're part of this Facebook group where, women have said things that aren't true about them, I think that we would have a long interview process with that person just to really get all of the facts from them. Who are these women? Did you date them? How many times did you date them? What was the relationship like? How well do you know them? What do you know about them? And then if someone wants us to do an investigation, obviously we have confidentiality agreements, but I would like to, most likely, since this is social media, I'd almost ask them to sign a consent to search. Specifically, I'm not going to search their whole entire phone, but I would want them to basically walk me through, is it Facebook that they're on that they communicated with the women through, Instagram?
So you would download their phone?
I would ask which apps they're using, and then I would ask them to sign a consent to search, and I would download the contents of those and then review everything with a fine-tooth comb.
And those are the true messages, unmanipulated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
With the, not screenshots. It drives me bananas to see screenshots as evidence in 2023, 2024.
Because you can download a phone.
Anyone can download a phone. It's honestly, it's so easy.
You see the difference in how authenticity is measured compared to that Facebook group? This highlights the reality of the internet. Nothing is truly private or confidential. These Facebook groups operate without the consent of the men they are posting about. Sooner or later, these men will find out what's being said about them. If these remarks are false and result in damaging their reputation, affecting their personal or professional life, then these men have a legitimate case.
So do you think this group is more helpful or harmful? You answer that first, then I have a comment to that also.
Well, I think that any group of women trying to look out for other women is an amazing thing. I mean, I really, I love that. I love when women look out for other women. And it really hurts my heart when women try to hurt other women.
Right.
But there's also where it can get out of control, and you're always going to have, no matter what group you have, you're always going to have your bad apples.
Right.
And it's almost like, it's almost like a Bravo TV show on Facebook.
Yes.
You know, it's
right.
just
it's entertainment at this point.
Total entertainment, and it's like a reality TV show on your Facebook account.
Yes. I agree in the sense of like, I think personally it might be more harmful at this point. And and again, what you said, like, I think women should support women, but I think at this point, the group itself is more just entertainment and could be harmful because if you have a true victim who decides to post, the likelihood of the guy finding out is basic. I think almost 90%, because you have people's sisters, cousins, friends, coworkers, whatever, who screenshot it and send it to him. And if that person is really dangerous and a stalker or whatever else that they're claiming he is, they're going to come after you. And all of the women that are saying this stuff. So it's really dangerous. And like, being a girl's girl, like, you just threw these people under the bus. And you might think that that guy's great, but what if he's not behind closed doors? I guess you never know. And
right. I think a lot of these girls are saying, when I was first introduced to the Facebook group, really the way I was introduced to it, she said, hey, you got to take a look at this. This is hilarious.
Right.
So, right. So entertaining.
Exactly. So the whole premise of the group and the actual reason is now gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so hard to take modern women seriously, because it's all entertainment for them. Check this out.
We ended up sitting talking for like an hour and a half, and I had posted his picture on one of those "Are we dating the same guy?" pages on Facebook over the weekend when we first started talking.
Why was she laughing, guys?
I had posted his picture on one of those "Are we dating the same guy?"
Why was she laughing? Why is her first reaction to naming this group laughter? Because it's a joke. It's entertainment. Just like how these women love to tell their dating stories on TikTok. It's all feel-good Kool-Aid. It makes them feel better. They're not thinking when they make these videos. That's why they always tell on themselves. It's a therapy session. Dunking on men feels good, but they don't like it when men start dunking on them with facts.
And then when you have girls, because what I saw was so-and-so's a narcissist, you know, and then when you have the men and or women with the narcissistic personalities and you add a sociopathic tendency with that narcissism or a psychopathic tendency, like with a mental illness with the narcissism, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And it could really send someone, you know, male into a tailspin and really put the women in harm's way.
Right.
What makes this worse is that women don't have to be narcissists to exhibit this behavior. Women cannot handle rejection well, and shameful language is a common tactic to devalue or even destroy. There are many petty women who hold grudges on these pages, looking for attention, and it's a matter of time that this foolishness backfires on them. Never underestimate the law of cause and effect.
My last question is, what do you recommend for men and women when online dating? Is there any safety tips that you can come up with from your line of work and seeing what you've seen throughout your many years of experience as like a police officer and private investigator? How do you stay safe?
Stay off social media.
Really?
Don't online date. Those are the two quickest, safe, but no.
Patreon supporters, salute! Man, that's where we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.